As I said yesterday, of course, in 1.49, I'll be doing a video about all of the new motor swaps in this update. 10 this time around, which is nice instead of the usual 5, and what's even better is it's not just the same engine over and over again. There is some variation. One of the engines is pretty unique, and the other one, which is featured in a couple of cars, is a very strange choice. Maybe a reference that I'm missing, we'll get to it in a second, but a pretty cool one. First things first, we've got a few different Beamers. The first 5 are all BMWs. Don't worry though, the engines are different if you haven't seen already. The first one is an additional swap for the 89 shape M3 Sport Evo. And of course this is a pretty glaring one to add because we already had a motor swap for the other M3, which is a fantastic swap. The Suzuki, basically like Hayabusa motor swap for that one, which I turned into, of course, a signature special projects build. Fantastic engine in an awesome car. This time it's a totally different engine though, a 2020 Supra engine, the B58GR Supra. Next up, very notable one because we've only just had the car added. It's quite rare to see a vehicle immediately have a swap, but the 1997 M3 of course arrives with an LS swap, the BRZ LS7, so huge power out of this thing. I feel like this will probably be pretty popular with drift builders, and for good reason, and I haven't fitted one yet, but you know this thing has got to be stupid quick for top end speed as well. The next one is a really interesting choice because it's the 2007 M3, in other words the E92 shape, with a P65 B44 BMW Z4 engine. Don't see many vehicles around in the game with a Z4 swap. It doesn't pop up that often, so that's a curious new choice as well. The next one is the BMW M4, of course the 2014 shape, which has that same option of the motor swap as well, so that's pretty cool to see. And then last, and well, kind of least as well in terms of usability, I don't really get why they keep doing this, but Group 4 swaps are becoming more of a thing. Initially it was cool, you know, having the Veyron with some decent power, but then it kind of undermines what the vehicle can be used for some of the time. But it's the Group 4 version of the M4, which again can have that LS7 engine from the BRZ. So just like with the Veyron, just like with the others, the Silvia as well, it's a crazy engine to put into a car like that. I don't exactly know what they're going for. I guess you could build a cool like drift build out of it maybe. I really don't know. You kind of lose what makes it a Group 4 to begin with once you do that, but hey, it's your choice. The next one is a motor swap for the Honda S2000. Of course, recently I featured the S2000 in a build for special projects. The bonus pack for July, I did a replica of the Opera Performance S2000. This one is a K24A Civic motor, which you can drop into that one. Then we get into the weird ones. 2 weird ones in particular. The first one is the 2013 Hyundai Genesis. Doesn't seem crazy so far, but it's a 690T Alpha Giulia GTA engine, or the GTA-M in this case. Am I missing a reference there or something? Because that's a very specific and odd choice of engine swap to me. It's really cool, don't get me wrong, but what a weird mashup of vehicles, at least on the surface, putting an Alpha Giulia engine into a Hyundai Genesis coupe. I mean, cool, go for it I guess, but there you go. That same engine, perhaps even more crazily, can be put into the Mazda Atenza. Okay. Again, I don't get the reference, maybe it's something I'm missing, but a pretty wild motor swap on that one. And I guess if nothing else, the Mazda Atenza is probably the ultimate sleeper car in the game now, because it's such a boring looking car which barely anyone uses, and now you've got this wild monster of an engine put in there. The next one is the Mini, but not a classic Mini. We already have, of course, a motor swap for that one, which makes it a monster incidentally. This one also is a K24A Civic engine, just like with the Honda S2000, but this is for the 2005 Mini Cooper S. Another car which will absolutely be a weapon. This one, of course, you can see the real world ties. Minis are so popular for motor swaps, bike swaps, K-Series swaps. They're fantastic platforms for that kind of stuff, so that doesn't really surprise me at all. And last but certainly not least, the build which I think a lot of people are probably going to be doing for the recently added 1987 R31 Skyline GTSR. As I've said before, one of my favourite Skylines. You can drop the iconic RB26 engine from the R34 Skyline into that car. So even more horsepower. Like with the Civic engine in a Mini, I think a ton of people are going to be doing this one. So pretty cool mix of 10 swaps this time around. Nothing's up to like Alphard V10 level of crazy, but still some pretty cool stuff. Certainly some left field choices, which I personally wasn't expecting, like the Giulia engine. Of course, that is it overall for these motor swaps though. If you've already used some of these, absolutely give your thoughts down below. I know that people have built some crazy speed machines already, probably some great drift builds as well, and perhaps even some pretty cool track cars or replicas. So like I said, let me know down below, and of course stick around from tomorrow on the channel because I'll be beginning my reviews of all 6 cars individually in their own videos for 1.49. Until next time, I'll see you then, and for now, Thanks for watching.